Hey everybody, so to get ads running in Godot, we're going to be using a custom module called Godot AdMob, and this pairs with Google AdMob, if you couldn't tell. And so the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is download this module. I'll have this link in the description and download the zip. We're also going to need to download Google Mobile Ads SDK, which I'll also have linked in the description, and it's also at the bottom of this page here in case you get lost. Go ahead and download that. And then finally, we're going to need a copy of the Godot source code. So you can clone this if you want. I'm just going to be downloading it, and make sure you download the version that you have. I know that I'm running 3.2.3, so let's go ahead and download that zip. Let's come over here to my download folder, and I'm going to start unzipping these things. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go into Godot AdMob Master. So this is the Godot AdMob custom module. I'm going to go ahead and go into this. You see this is the AdMob folder. And I'm just going to drag it over here to make things a little clearer. And that's the mobile SDK. Okay, we're going to go ahead and open this up. And we're going to go iOS, lib. You can see we're right here. So you can see these little blank files that says put these frameworks here. I am going to go ahead and delete those. And we're going to do what that says. So we're going to open up Google Mobile the SDK from Google that we downloaded right here, right? And we're going to go ahead and just grab all these guys and click and drag them and shove them in that library there. There we go. See, now they're in the library, and again, this is in the AdMob we just downloaded. Now what we're going to do is take the Godot source code we downloaded. I'm also going to move it in here, and we're going to open it up, and we're going to just click and drag this Godot AdMob module into the modules folder, believe it or not, and that's it. So now we need to go ahead and recompile the export templates for our version here. Now I have an in-depth tutorial on my channel if you want to check that out, so I'm kind of just going to fly through recompiling here. I'm going to go ahead and open up my terminal, and I'm going to go ahead and cd to this folder. Okay, now that we're in there, we're going to go ahead and use scons. Actually, I'm going to go over to the documentation. We're just going to copy and paste these lines here. If you don't already have scons, just do brew install scons, or install with homebrew basically. And then this is going to go ahead and recompile. So now we just need to compile for the 64-bit version. So that's going to be this line right here. Copy and paste it. All right, now finally, I'm going to go ahead and package these together using this command, and this will create a FAT-A file for us. And there we go. Okay, and if we go into bin, we'll see that's what we made before, and there's the FAT-A it went and did for us. And you can see this is for the release version, so I'm going to go ahead and do that for the debug version, and then I'll be back. So I've gone ahead and done that. As you can see, I have a debug FAT.A and a release FAT.A. This is what you should have here. Now what we're going to go ahead and do is something that for some reason confused me. This has nothing to do with our current version of Godot. At least like we're not running what we just made here. We're just making things that go into the export. So go to whatever game you want to run ads on. For me, it's going to be this one. And go ahead and export it as normal, going project, export, and I'm going to be exporting it for iOS. Right, and these are my export settings. In case anyone is interested, there's really nothing special here. I have a whole video going into how to do this, but I'm not going to redo it again because I've already done this for the purpose of the video. And we go here, but in Visual Basic. Okay. And sorry if you hear snorting, that's my pug. And you'll get this whenever you export to iOS, right? Hopefully you're familiar with this little layout right here. And so we're going to do a few things. First of all, we're going to go ahead and take our FAT-A files, and we're going to paste them into here. Okay, now, see, we already have a fishbowl.a. As you can see, it's in the same file type. And whichever one you want to run here, for me, I'm going to run the debug version. We're just going to rename that. Well, actually, we have to delete this first to fishbowl.a. Okay, and there we go. Just like you never knew it. So essentially what we've done is put the custom module into this, so that way when we call it from code, it will run from here. Now, what we need to do is go ahead and you can get this anywhere, but you want to go back to, go to my downloads folder here. We want the Google AdMob SDK, because what we need to do is grab these frameworks and stick them into this file. Just copy and paste them in like that. I'm gonna go ahead and do a sort by kind, because I like doing stuff like that. So yeah, we've got these frameworks in here, and yeah, now we can go ahead and open up Xcode. All right, so we're just gonna double click on this Xcode project file right here. I can actually go ahead and exit out of this downloads folder here. Move that over there. All right, and here is our game. What the hell is happening? Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. All right, so we're in the game. Go here, and go here. Signing in capabilities, and go ahead and make sure you fill these in with whoever you are. For me, it's Aaron Bastian. If not, just add an account. Again, I have a whole video going into how to generally set up xCloud to run your game on your phone and export normally. We're going to go to, is it build settings, build phases, and then link binary with libraries. And you see all we got here is Godot, which is good because we probably need Godot to run this game. But we want to add a few more libraries. And so if you go back to the GitHub for the Godot AdMob module, right, and you scroll down, you'll see configuring a game iOS, and you'll have all these frameworks you need to add. And so we're literally just going to be going down the list and adding these, but I'll go ahead and show you how to do that because some of them are a little weird, right? So the reason you'll notice that some of these look a little familiar, and that's because those are from the SDK thing, the Google SDK thing we downloaded and put them right here. So we're going to go ahead and hit the plus button here. We're going to be adding a few from right here. We go to add other, add files, and it should pull us, yeah, we're right in that file already. So the first one we want to add is Google Mobile Ads.framework. We don't need to add all of these actually. We need to add app measurement. Yes, we'll do app measurement. Right. Add files. Okay. Google Mobile Ads. That looks good. Okay. Again, we're going to go add file and utilities. Now, see, some of them, you don't want to just double click them right away because some of them have this, right? The iOS ARM7, ARM64, blah, blah, blah. And it says right here that you want to choose this file type. So iOS, ARM7, ARM64. Okay, so just go ahead and click that. Open up that. Oopsies, that's actually wrong. Minor mistake there. You want to go into that, click this, and then upload that as the framework. If you're not seeing this little toolbox icon, you chose the wrong file, most likely. Okay, files, we've gotten 3 out of 5. We got promises here, which is same thing. So you can see when we click into it, we see this. Go that, and there's the framework we want. And then one more here, and this was Nano. Oh, interesting, Nano. I wonder if that is the, yeah, same deal there. So go there, hit that framework. Okay, and that was basically the hard part. Now what we're going to do is just add all of these frameworks. And these are all frameworks that are that you can find in here. So we can just copy and paste and search them. So store kit frameworks. Okay, and we'll just do that for all these here. All right, so for Sqlite, you want to make sure you're doing this here. Libs or lib Sqlite 30, or I'm sorry, 3.0. I guess that's this one. Now, some of these are actually out of date, and when you run it, it'll go ahead and say, use this one instead. Just click yes, and I'll walk you through doing that. The other thing is, this is going to say right here, if you're using the version blah, 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 then use JavaScript core. You likely are, and if you're in 2020, So just do JavaScript. There we go. Both the same, aren't they? All right, so believe it or not, that was the hard part. Now what we're gonna go ahead and do is just go over to build settings here, go up to the search bar right here, and just type in other linker. And you can see we got other linker flags, and we're gonna add a new flag. So this is the name of my game here. Make sure you click this one, not this one or this one. Actually, you might be okay to do that one, but I'm gonna do this one, and it's actually, let me go make sure that I'm using the correct one. Here it is. Okay, and we'll do that. I'm just going to copy and paste. And so you can just copy this here or go, again, this is just on the Godot AdMob page there on GitHub. Hit enter, and then we've got that added. Now we're going to go over to info, right? And this is just your info plist. And we're going to go ahead and make a new thing by hitting the plus button. You can go ahead and delete that. Now what we're going to do is do Godot application identifier. And actually, if we scroll up here, and I'm going to go ahead and do this just to follow them specifically. This is, and see that I got that link right from the GitHub page again. We have this right here, Godot application identifier. You can see here's what we're doing. We're just going to do this. Okay. Now, this right here is from your Google AdMob. So I'm just going to be using theirs because I don't want to put mine out on YouTube. But essentially, this is from, if you go to your Google AdMob account, this will be the one they give you right when you make your account or log in, and it's your personal Godot identifier. And so we go ahead and leave that as that. Type is string, and then we go to value and just paste that in right there. Beautiful. Okay. Now we're going to make one more here under bundle name. Okay. And we're just going to do exactly what they do here. So this is going to be SCAD. I'm sorry, we need to do SCAD network items. Okay. And I believe this is a list, or is it? I think it's array. It's an array. Yeah, array dictionary string. Okay, array. And then we're going to go ahead and open up that array. So not that, we're going to do this. No, here we go, this. And then we're going to hit plus underneath that. Okay, item 0. And we're just going to change this, and I believe this is a dictionary. And then we're going to go ahead and hit plus once more. Okay, and now we've got item 1. So no, that's not what we want. We don't want this. I guess you gotta make sure that you open up this arrow here. There we go. See how it's tabbed in like that. Okay, then we'll go ahead. Network identifier, string, and then the value for this one actually will be this. This is not custom. This is to identify Google. And so we'll just go ahead and paste that right here for the value. And with that, I think we are actually done. All right, so now that we're done with all that setup, I'm going to go ahead and plug in my phone to my computer right now. And so I'm plugging in my iPhone, and you should see it pop up. There you are, there we go, Aaron's phone. And I'm going to go ahead and try and test and build this. Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm going to stop that. Now I'm actually surprised that it only threw one little thing right there. You can actually, I know it's like, these are immense, but these are actually fine. You actually don't need those. Those are like tons of little icons for different things you might run on. And so what we're going to do is just come right here, click on this, and so it wants us to use it says use core services framework instead, been renamed. And then mobile core services, we're just going to go ahead and delete that. Delete. There should be core services. There, that is. All right, and yeah, so that's just going ahead and making sure that this is all working. I'll go ahead and, oh, that's weird. There we go. Nice. Okay. So before it was stuck on the start screen for a little bit, so I was a little worried. But once we went ahead and fixed that, yeah, everything's working as it should. So that's great. So now I'm going to go ahead and take you into Godot and show you how to actually use this module in code. All right, so now that we've gotten everything set up, we're going to go ahead and get into the actual code. I wanted to real quick just take you through what he's got on here. So this is, again, the GitHub page. And I think it's really important. So this guy, Gustavat, I think he's the one who wrote it. He is extremely responsive to questions, and he definitely knows more than I do. I've really only messed around with doing the interstitial ads. But so I'm going to show you how to, I'm going to take you through doing those, and it's mostly applicable to these as well. But if you've got any other questions, make sure you hit him up. Now at the bottom of this, you'll go ahead and see it says API reference, right? And the following methods are available. And so, as you'd expect, these are all the different methods, and they actually have pretty good explanations here of what they do. We're going to be going through only interstitial, like I said, because I'm only using interstitial in my game. But again, if he's not responding to you, and he really should be, he responded to me in like a day, which is fantastic with my question. Then feel free to hit me up and I can ask him or try to figure it out myself. But these really aren't too complicated, right? So now we're going to go ahead and get in Fishbowl. Okay, now what you need to do is make sure you have an autoload script or singleton somewhere in your file. If you don't know how to do that, there should be plenty of tutorials on how to set up an autoload or singleton, but you basically just go to project settings, autoload, and then click file and add a new one. We're going to be using this one right here, which is globals. So I already have one set up. So I'm going to search globals, GD, right here. And you can see I've got the AdMob set up right here, and I've labeled it. And this is the entirety of, well, I guess the init for it, and then your use of it is different. So we're going to make some functions that utilize his functions and make sure that it doesn't crash our app or give us any errors if something doesn't work. And then you basically just call these functions when you want to show the ad as show ad, and then on interstitial close, right? Now, so the first thing I did is I made two variables. We've got var AdMob and var real ads. And these are both, well, real ads is a setting. This is something you want to keep false until you're ready to put out your release version. Once you put it in your release version, just change this to true, and you will get actual ads on your videos rather than test ads. If we go ahead and run the game right now on our phone and you get to a point where you want an ad to show up, you'll see it says like Amazon test ad, which is actually really great, right? Because we don't have to make sure everything's working. We just need to make sure that these are working for our debug version. And we're going to set AdMob equal to null. At first, we're going to define that in a second. Add interstitial ID. So here's where you go again to your Google AdMob account. And I think I closed mine, but you just go to your Google AdMob account, you go to your app, and you click on the ad that you have added to that. And if you're confused on that, I will, again, certainly be happy to make a tutorial on how to do that. But it's really, really easy, you guys. And Google, of course, has tons of resources out there for how to do that. But then you go and you should see something that looks like this under your ad, and this is this looks familiar, but is not the same as the one we put in for our Godot application identifier. That was for like our profile in Google AdMob, and this is for our specific ads profile. Var enable ads, and we're going to keep this one as true. You can of course do false, right? And the reason you might want to do false is if for instance, one, like somebody's maybe seen 10 ads, you're like, okay, I think 10 ads per person's enough. Two, of course, is like, so you want somebody, okay, if you pay for the app and you pay me $5 or $2 or whatever it may be, then I'll disable ads. You want to, like, if you want to disable ads, buy the premium version, that type of thing. And then some people just like to, give people the option to disable ads. So we're going to go ahead and put a ready function here. And so because this is an autoloaded script, this ready function will be loaded right when your game is loaded. We're going to say if engine has singleton AdMob. So this is what we've done, essentially, you guys, is that we've put this into the project folder. So when the game initializes, it checks all the modules it has, and it will see that we have an AdMob singleton. So that's all we're doing here. We're just checking if it has that singleton, right? And if you want, you can go ahead and even run a print. Well, actually, I guess you can't actually do a print. because you won't be able to see this working until you're actually on your phone. Because if we're running this on the Godot engine, again, remember that we don't have that module installed. We only have it installed in that package that we exported with. So we're going to say AdMob. So again, we're defining this up here, equals engine.get singleton AdMob. So we're setting it equal to that singleton that we just installed. AdMob.init real ads.get instance ID. Okay, and this is important. AdMob.load interstitial add interstitial ID. So here's the add interstitial ID. It's right here. Again, this is that. And of course, if you don't want to make a variable, you can just go ahead and stick that in here. Doesn't really matter, but this is kind of just makes this very readable. This is in a init, and as you can see, this is right here. Yeah, there we go. And so this is just, we're literally just making sure that this is initialized right when the app loads for the first time. Then we got function show add interstitial. Oh, my computer fan's going crazy. Sorry about that. But so this is going to be our only custom function. Function show add interstitial. And then we're going to say if AdMob and enable ads. So we're checking two things, right? We're checking if this, essentially we're doing this again, right? We're checking if we have that singleton, and we're checking if enable ads is true, which it should be, right? Then show interstitial add. Now this is the function from AdMob here. So go down to interstitial, we've got show interstitial right here. Now something you need to do is you actually need to do this load interstitial with the add ID every time before you want to show that interstitial add. So what I'm also doing is doing function on interstitial close, and you can see I've put a underscore here. And this is the format for signals, because this is actually a built-in signal in here, and this is actually, again, right here, on interstitial close. So this is what we're using. So make sure you just copy and paste it from here, honestly. And so this will actually just run when this ad is finished and closed. And we're going to do that, and again, we're just going to check if AdMob and enable ads again, so our app doesn't crash. Then we're going to say AdMob.load interstitial. Okay. And so this is the function that will actually call it, but I'm sorry, this is the function that will actually load it, and this is the function that will actually show it, right? But these are the functions that allow us to do that from code, and we throw a check in there to make sure nothing's breaking. Now, I can go ahead and show you exactly how mine is implemented. So if we go to, oh geez, where was it? Not new game setup. Game interim here. So I have it. Oh no, it is not. It's game turn. Okay, so this is a game essentially where you have rounds, and there's 3 rounds. There's a taboo round, a password round, and a charades round. This is just like a typical party game. Essentially, I have it so that when each round is finished, which is 3 times per game, which each game could run you like 30 minutes, and most people are only going to play 1, maybe 2 games at a time. We're going to go ahead and show this. So this is a very natural place. This is basically like beating a level almost, that we're going to go ahead and do this. And so we're just going to say globals. Again, this is calling this global script dot show add interstitial, and then we're showing that, we're calling this function right here, and that's it. That's literally it. It's that easy. And now when we run the game on my phone, you'll see that these ads are popping. All right. So now we're here on my iPhone. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And just swipe on over to the last page of wherever your apps are going to install. Here's mine, right? I'm going to go ahead and click on it. If yours doesn't open because you get some error, then it's a pretty simple fix. Just go ahead and go into your settings and trust yourself as a developer. Now, if that's still unclear, just go ahead and watch my video on exporting for iPhone, because it goes over it in detail. So I'm just going to go ahead and go into a new game here, and I'll speed this up. Okay, game's loading up. Okay, red team goes first. Go ahead and start our turn. And I'm just going to spam through all the words here. All right, and you can see that would be the end of round taboo, like we showed. And we see this, we get this test mode. This is an interstitial test ad. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you found this video helpful, please leave a like and comment. I will be doing more content on Godot in the future. And really would love to have you along for the ride. Also, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know, and I'll try to respond to the best I can. Yeah, have a great day.